Hello everybody, my name is Jax and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, it's just kind of like an update on my devlogs. I hope everyone had a good new year and is on to a good start for 2024. We'll see. This year is going to be very interesting regardless of, it's going to be a very interesting year. I think this might be the tipping point of all humanity. maybe not. I think, right, that I'm dealing with a little problem called scope creep. And if we look at what's the definition of what scope creep is, right, you might have heard this word, you might not have heard this word, and it applies mainly to people that are in like tech type stuff, web design, game development, all that sort of stuff. Right, so I don't know if this is the actual definition, but if you type in scope creep in Google, it says scope creep is the uncontrolled and often unmanageable growth of a project's requirement or scope once it's underway. Scope creep often forces project managers to reallocate resources and rewrite schedules, leading to missed deadlines and swollen budgets. So essentially what scope creep is saying is, let me put it in an example of what it's doing to me, right? So say, for example, I say I want to make a character that can jump. No, I want to make a character that can shoot a gun, right? And that's my only aim. I just want him to shoot a gun, right? But now, all right, what do I need to do that? I'm going to need the gun. I'm going to need to know how to shoot it. So I make the gun. I learn how to make him shoot it. That's what my aim was to start with. But what scope creep does is it goes, wait, this gun can look a bit better. And not only can the gun look a bit better, but you can actually make it reload. And when you shoot it, not only can you shoot it this way, you can make it shoot it that way, and you can make him shoot lasers. And so basically what scope creep does is it takes you away from your actual aim. But the reason why you are took away from your actual aim is because in the process of getting to your target is you end up finding out there's better ways to do it, or there's more interesting things you can add, and basically it just makes your to-do list just grow exponentially. And then from that it just branches off into all sorts of things. So you, for example, with the gun, making the guy shoot, you might go, well, now the gun can look a bit better, but I can do a different material. But now this material can look better, and now I can learn about materials. And with game development, there's so much stuff to learn that it's like a never-ending pile of just learning. So I think I'm suffering with that a little bit. So I'm going to get back to, I am still going to carry on with this multiplayer game. 100% I'm going to carry on with this multiplayer game. But I think sooner rather than later, I'm going to finish my other two projects, because they're not really, them two projects aren't really suffering with scope creep, I should say. They're more like, I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do. I just need to get them finished. So I can get them finished without it blossoming into a massive project even more. Whereas this multiplayer game is going to just end up just consuming everything. It's going to be like a black hole of game development. But yeah, so also, yeah, I've had a couple of cool messages. So I got one message from a YouTuber called Raj. A really, really nice message, actually, probably the nicest message I've ever got. And it was just along the lines that he'd watched a playlist of these game development vlogs, and he enjoyed them, and or he or she or they or them, let's say they enjoyed them, and it maybe inspire them to do it themselves as well. So, and also as well, if someone feels like they're inspired to do something or want to start something, don't feel the pressure of not doing it. Just one day, just do it, so like, because you've got to start somewhere, even if it's the smallest place. Just start and then just move on to the next step. So the pressure of not doing something can be quite overwhelming. and it gets heavier and heavier. So if you are feeling that pressure of not doing something, just drop it. Just drop it completely until you're ready to actually do it, because otherwise that pressure will just keep building. But yeah, what? Oh yeah, I got another message from another YouTuber called Toasted Butter, and they mentioned the sliding animation and stuff with my character in this game, and I kind of agree, sort of, because like they were like the sliding and that looks a bit janky, and it did. I've sort of fixed it a little bit. It still looks a little bit janky. My movement isn't the best in this. It's getting close to where I want it to be, but it does look slightly janky. But I have fixed some stuff. So, but again, it's like that scope creep thing. You do one thing and it opens the door to a million other things. Yeah. So I've fixed the crouch camera, so when you crouch, the camera doesn't go down, and that's pretty basic thing to do. All you got to do is attach the camera with a spring arm or whatever you're using to hold the camera, attach it to the character mesh rather than the collision collider, and it should take that camera movement out of the crouch. But one still problem that I still am having is this one, where if you go from jump to crouch, it does this little jerk in the sky. Don't like that. I think it might be something to do with the animation. I'm not sure, but I think it's more likely it's something to do with the animation rather than the actual crouching thing. I've done this other. Also, I've done this. What's it called? Post-process material, and I learned this outline material from a YouTube channel called Reality Adrift Studio. Really good channel. Although, yes, so do subscribe to that channel. So everything's just normal in this game, right? If I walk over to this box where I've applied post-process, watch, everything's got a black outline. See, my character's got a black outline. The boxes have, everything's got a black outline. That's the post-process material. The only reason it's applying just there is because this little box here is a post-process volume, right? So I can apply that post-process to the whole map, but I can't apply it to individual things, because in the tutorial of that Reality Adrift, it only applies to UE4, and some of the comments were saying you can't carry on that process in UE5. So just making the outline material, you can do it in UE5, but just applying it to certain things, you have to find a different way. But this material is so complicated that I don't really understand what I've done anyway. I just copied a tutorial, but I do know that applies the black and white, the black outline, and that can be anything. It doesn't have to be black. It doesn't have to be that thin. You can the lines can be thicker, and the lines can be red or white or whatever. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I've neatened up some of the animation, so the sliding shoot, I've neatened that animation up. I've neatened up the actual sliding animation. I've changed the sort of movement a little bit, so there's a bit more drag to the movement. Not loads of drag, but as he's running, I want it to slide a lot more though. I want to slide and you lose some control of the slide. At the moment you have absolute control, so you can slide and just stop, and he just stops in place. So I want him to sort of slide a bit forward, so I might need to sort some of them animations out. But yeah, I think I'm dealing with scope creep, and I think it's good to be aware of that. It's good to be aware of that, and it's good to try and limit what my aims are. So I think I might go back to finishing my other two games. My one Gangster D game is just is really close to finishing. So like it's practically is finished. I could just mix that down now and it would be all right. Like I just need to tighten a couple things up. My other game is needs a bit of work, but it's all stuff that I know what I need to do. But this multiplayer thing, I haven't even started looking into multiplayer yet. I'm still trying to get the movement of the character right. But yeah, that's about it. Just thought I'd give everyone a little update on where I'm at, and just mention a couple of the nice messages I got, and also shout out the channel that showed me how to do that outline. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you have a nice day. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.